The summer after I graduated from college, I moved out of my rental house on Austin's east side, flew down to Central America, and rented an apartment on the island of Roatan, where I spent my days hanging out on the beach and getting the kind of sunburns that I would come to regret years later. It was meant to be a vacation, but I had a hard time relaxing. I worried about money. I had a girlfriend I desperately missed. I was anxious to begin that next stage of life called adulthood. One day, I checked my phone's voicemail to find out I'd been offered a job interview. So I booked an early ticket back, returned to Austin, got the job, and moved into an apartment with that girlfriend. Then I turned 22. 22 was, to put it mildly, a tumultuous year for me. I hated and then quit that first real job, applied to grad school, and got dumped by that girlfriend. However, I was determined to not be one of those millennials you were always reading about, the ones who moved back home with their parents. So I dug in. For inspiration, I watched that one speech that Tom Cruise gives in Jerry Maguire.
I love you. You complete me.
No, not that one. The other one.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege.
I got my own place and got back together with that girlfriend. I went to D.C. for Christmas and met her family. Her dad was a superior court judge. Her mom was a scientist. They lived in a big house in the same neighborhood as diplomats and politicians. They had themed rooms for guests to stay in. They ate actual figgy pudding for dessert, a food that I had only previously believed to exist in Christmas carols. I saw a glimpse of a version of a life I'd never before imagined, one of wealth and fancy parties and fine things. On the drive back to Texas, we broke up in the car in Tennessee, this time permanently, and spent the night in a motel in a town called Tuscaloosa. 2012 arrived. A song that seemed to perfectly encapsulate my specific brand of heartbreak took over the airwaves. I got a job as a bartender. I dated around, sulked, moped, withered emotionally, bulked up physically. I got into graduate school, as fate would have it, in that town called Tuscaloosa. I left Texas for good and moved east to Alabama. Then I turned 23.